Y'all remember the chickens episode from Bojack Horseman?
Chicken for days. Everybody's having fun at Chicken for Days.
Chickens is an episode in the adult animated sitcom Bojack Horseman. Bojack Horseman is about the titular Bojack Horseman, a washed-up Hollywood actor who's from a sitcom in the 90s. The second season follows him as he attempts to make a comeback on a movie about his childhood hero, Secretariat. The Bojack Horseman world is a world full of anthropomorphic animals along with humans. Interestingly, this anthropomorphic world also has farm animals, like cows, pigs, and chickens. Despite this, they still eat meat. Chickens is an episode that answers this question of how does that happen? It turns out this is justified by the meat they eat being genetically modified and full of hormones. The chickens that they eat are food, not friends. This is contradicted when a chicken company's truck crash, and out comes a chicken. A character named Todd finds her and decides to save her. She names herself Becca. Becca cannot speak. I mean that in the way of the characters say she can't speak English, but she can't speak at all. Keep in mind, in the world of Bojack Horseman, all the animals do not speak in animal noises. They speak in languages that humans have. They speak in Vietnamese or English.
Yep, she loves her books. Big reader.
Becca, on the other hand, speaks in animal noises, which I feel like are analogous to her not being able to speak. She can't communicate for herself. Usually people take this episode as a statement on veganism. Some of the creators are vegan, so they interpret this episode as telling people to go vegan, trying to exaggerate the meat industry. Well, I think that is true. I think the bigger meaning of this episode is a lot more about the dehumanization that we do to the people around us. Becca is a little confused, but she does understand things. She understands that Todd saved her and that Todd cares about her. She also understands when she goes to the slaughter room of the chicken farm that that's where she's going to end up. They claim that the chickens who run the farm are different than the chickens who are food at the farm. The chickens who run the farm are educated. They're friends. They're people like you. But the chickens who are food, they're full of hormones. They're genetically modified. It's okay. It's ethical. You don't have to think about it. Well, this is a satire of the meat industry. Most interestingly, it's a satire of how easily we are able to dehumanize people. It puts a degree of separation off of the consumer. They don't have to think about how people are getting murdered. Because, do not misunderstand, Becca is just as much of a person as all the other chickens and characters on this show. Just because she can't speak, and just because she's a little confused, that doesn't take her humanity away. And I think this is a very interesting thing to think about, because this isn't just a part of Bojack Horseman. We do this all the time. We don't like to think about it, but there are lots of people in our society who may not be able to speak, who may not be able to think very clearly, who may be a little confused. People who have Alzheimer's, people who have intellectual disabilities. There are people in our world who don't have all the mental capacities, and we would rather put them in institutions. I mean, until pretty recently, there were ugly laws that made it that if you were disabled and you looked unsightly, you went into institutions. And those institutions were not nice places. Abuse was rampant. Because Becca is ugly, she is able to be dehumanized. We're not able to look at her. But Todd did. Todd looked at Becca, knew he was her friend, and decided to save her. In the end, that's just a bit of fate that saves Becca. Bojack, wanting to look good, has his friend Drew Barrymore buy Becca from the farm. I must repeat, Becca was bought. Becca was property. Drew Barrymore saves her, and she's fine in the end. Funnily enough, the ending of Bojack Horseman is a little bit more pessimistic than real life. In real life, disabled people are taken of much better than they were when they were being thrown in institutions. Now, this isn't to say that they aren't. I think about disabled kids and the attacks on 504. I think about the ADA and how still to this day there are not elevators in every single subway station in New York. But things are getting better. They're only able to get better because disabled people have forced us to look into their eyes. I like this episode. It makes people look at something that they don't want to. Most importantly, it makes people see the humanity in people they don't want to. That's one of the best strengths about Bojack Horseman, is making us look in the mirror at ourselves. If you like this episode of the Zip Files, tune in. I've got more coming on the way. And I've also got a short about Toji Fushiguro deadbeat baby daddy TikToks. So please watch that one too. Love you. Like and subscribe. All that things. Have a good day.